Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Recovery After Stroke podcast. Whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere else, thank you for being here. Your support really means the world to me, and it's what keeps this podcast going strong. Before we jump into today's episode, I want to give a special shout out to all my Patreon supporters. Your contribution is helping me continue to put these episodes together by helping to cover some of the costs of editing and hosting the show. For anyone listening that may be considering becoming a Patreon and helping me in my attempt to get to 1,000 episodes, you can find out more at patreon.com/recoveryafterstroke. Today, we have an inspiring conversation with Tyrone Brown, a successful entrepreneur and community leader whose life changed instantly when he experienced a diabetic stroke at 47. Tyrone opens up about the shocking moment his right side stopped working, the fear of watching his body decline while his mind remained sharp, and the resilience it took to reclaim his life. If you or someone you love is navigating stroke recovery, this episode is packed with hope, mindset shifts, and powerful lessons about overcoming adversity. And for those of you watching on YouTube, our community is growing fast. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button and join the conversation in the comments. And now let's get onto the show with Tyrone's incredible story. Tyrone Brown, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, man. I'm glad to be here.
Lovely to meet you. Tell me a little bit about what happened to you.
Oh man. December 30th, man. Was regular day, I was out with the wife. We had a little cold and was tired of dealing with the cold. So we went to the doctor, regular doctor, hopefully, to work some medicine for the cold. And they signed us out the hospital but for the cold, sent us home with some, flu medicine. We went to go pick up the medicine. And while my wife was shopping, I was in the CVS and I had the medicine in my hand. As I'm walking, the medicine fell out my hand. Now remember, this is not thinking stroke, not thinking I'm sick. I'm like, that was weird. How did I drop out my hand? So I picked it up and then I walked a few more, a few more steps, and then it happened the second time. I didn't look at my hand to figure out what's going on. I didn't feel funny. So I called my wife over and somewhat jokingly said to her, yo, guess what happened? This thing dropped, I dropped it twice. I have no reason, nothing's wrong. And we kind of joked about it. And then I grabbed the bags to go out the store. We about to get in the car and I dropped the bag. So then I recognized my hands, my squeeze. So I say to her, uh-oh, something wrong. So we went home for a little while, try to see what's going on. I did have a headache, check my temperature, check my blood pressure. And then after about a while, I said, get dressed, let's go. Something's wrong. I begin to hold stuff, I could figure it out, and slowly I begin. So that ride to the hospital, we was nervous because now we realize something is going on. Um, this was a severe stroke, and it wasn't my first one. I had a very mild stroke about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. No side effects, nothing hurt, no long-term problem, just a small one. That recovery was like not feeling well. I had to move a little slower, take my time to get back. It was scary, no drooping. And so this one, we recognized what was going on and got to the hospital and checked in and then was told, yeah, you're having a full stroke right now. So that's the basic of what it started like, December
Yeah.
30th, right before the new year. I wasn't stressed out. I was home, relaxed for the past 2 weeks prior to that. No real indicators. So yeah,
Mm.
I came out the stroke. My voice obviously was changed by a lot. My
Mm-hmm.
speech and my entire right side. No leg, no arm. So that's what happened, man.
What caused it?
So it started out as a blood clot, and luckily the blood clot, I mean, is what they told me. I'm not the medicine man,
Mm.
but luckily it burst. I guess that's that kind of helped it. The blood clot burst, and it's caused. I am diabetic,
Mm-hmm.
and the diabetes was somewhat controlled, but some about my arteries not opening up and causing clots. So that's what it's from.
The diabetes has caused your arteries to shrink in size or not work properly, something like that.
Yeah, proper blood flow not happening.
Yeah.
And I had an indicator of that years ago when I had an ulcer in my leg. And again, back then when they fixed that, they opened up the arteries so the blood flow can go good. And we never really thought about it because none of these indicators ever stopped me from doing what I was doing. I would never, I'm 47, I'm a young guy. I work, I love work, I love to be out and about and handle my business. And never had to stop. So, diabetes and hypertension, those were the factors that led to it.
I hear you. And you know the little one that you had before that, did you get told by the medical staff that that happened, or did you actually notice that happened, that first one?
Well, when we had the first one, again, we were told by the medical staff that we did the MRI, we did the CAT scan, and the results came back. Yeah, this is what happened to you.
Mm-hmm. So you're in hospital, you're having all these things that happen to you. They tell you what the situation is like, and then your right side now doesn't work. So
Yeah,
what's the next step? What do they
yeah.
do about that?
Yeah, let me tell you, man. Being in the hospital, um, and knowing that I was having a stroke, um, at some point while the arm is deteriorating, you understand? You can still stretch out your right arm. You can still grab stuff a little bit. Understanding that I was having a stroke and that this one won't be as easy as the last one. I had my wife record. I had my wife record what was going on. So there's a video that I watch all the time now. That first moment that I realized that the arm something was happening is a video of me reaching out. Reaching out means I still have some movement. I couldn't grab this ball. My wife gave me a ball and I couldn't grab it. And that's the first time that I was really either scared or just hurt, So this video had me crying of not having the ability to grab the ball. And even though the video stopped, what I always remember now is the ball was just a beginning. In the video, I see myself crying because I couldn't grab the ball. But guess what? Later on, my arm stopped moving. Later on, my legs started moving. And this that fear, man, that fear of that gradual decline.
Mm-hmm.
And in your head, you're like, when does this gradual decline stop? What do I need to say to my wife now to let her know what my thoughts are before I either A, start losing my thoughts, B, start losing the ability to communicate because my words are starting to slur a lot more. And when you have your whole head, your whole mind, and then you're starting to lose ability to communicate, and Brucey move, you wondering, so what happened to the next leg stop? What happened? Like you don't know, So it's really scary moments that of that gradual decline and the loss of communication and the loss of movement. That was a scary moment, man. That was really, really scary. I'm
So,
glad it didn't last long. I'm glad.
yeah. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to all of our listeners, whether you're tuning in from home, on a walk, or during your rehab session. I appreciate you being a part of this journey. If you're finding value in this conversation, here are a few ways that you can stay connected and support the show. First, you can drop a comment on the YouTube video. So many stroke survivors and caregivers are doing that now, and it is an amazing place for insights and advice. Follow Tyrone's work. His impact on his community is incredible, and his story is far from over. Check out the show notes at the end of the episode for more details. Support the podcast on Patreon. Every contribution helps keep this content coming and allows us to reach more stroke survivors worldwide. All right, let's get back to Tyrone's journey. So your mind was completely switched on. You knew exactly what was happening, and you're
Yeah.
just watching all these things just disappear slowly, slowly.
Yeah. Completely awake, full mind. I mean, I, I'm pretty sharp guy, pretty intelligent guy, pre-stroke, so I know things about it. I know people who have it, so I know what's going on. I understand everything, and that's scary too. Something about having your full mind and then not having other stuff is actually worse when you think about quality of life. You know, but anyway, I'm standing there, sitting there, and I'm trying to realize what's going on, and I'm trying to stay calm, not
Mm,
over lose it with my mom and my wife get too scared. And I finally started calming myself down, just taking the realization of what was happening, and then the belief that the stroke is something that you could come back from.
mhm,
Pre-knowledge of that super helps. I never watched um your podcast before that. I never studied some things before that, but I was at least a little bit knowledgeable from celebrities who had strokes or from other reasons that people come back. So I was able to breathe and calm myself down. This is happening. It's gonna be all right, And that was cool. That really helped me.
Yeah, that is cool, man. Also, after all of that drama, all the other things you thought of, all the other things you worried about, noticed, to be able to bring you back to kind of some kind of calm, balance is a really cool thing, man. Like, I love the fact that you're able to do that. How long did you spend in hospital?
So the first 2 days, there was actually a second stroke along. No, first of all, I was at the most amazing hospital ever. I don't know. I never been in the hospital with this amount of care and this amount of attention, man. I'm originally from New York. I've been in the hospital before. Um, this is my first time being in the hospital in my other house. My other house, I have a house in Florida. This happened in Florida. This hospital was super caring. So the nurse would constantly check on me, and she would ask, "Is anything different? Sensation." So I started to tell her, "No, no, everything's fine." But one time I said, "Yo, something is a little bit different." This is after the effects already went away, and I started feeling a little dizzy or whatever. And after asking me a few questions, and my wife telling her that something that was improving seemed to be deteriorating, day two, she went along. She pressed that button, and then all the nurses and doctors came rushing in, and they took me through a whole procedure. new CAT scan, new MRI, and they said don't hesitate to do that. So that was scary. You were saying, yeah, bring the button, but once they come rushing in and put two new tubes in you and everything, that moment is scary again. So, I'm thinking I'm laying calm, but obviously I see my wife worried, my mom, so new tears and stuff like that. It feels funny telling you the story and smiling about it now, but
Hmm.
I
At the time.
understand that somebody's gonna see this as is happening to them. So to understand what different people's processes is important. The next few days after that, you're just in the hospital. You're in the hospital taking medicines, running tests. You realize what's going on. No leg, no arm. You're starting to understand the severity of where you're at. But guess what? Day one, I recorded my voice. I did the voice night. That first night, I did the voice note. The first few nights, I did the voice recording, and I was happy to play day one. Yeah, it might be day five, and by day five, I was really sounding a little better,
Hmm.
you know. And after like a few first few days, I was in my spiritual mode, man. I was in, all right, God, what do you want for me to do now, man? I do everything you tell me to do. I serve other people. I do everything. Why? What is the message in the madness? And I say, what testimony do you need me to go through in order to share with somebody else? What testimony do you need me to do now? Jesus Christ. Again, I moved into that mode. I moved into the mode of I gotta go through it. I'm
Yep.
gonna come out on top, and
Hmm.
then I'll share with somebody else what I went through. And I look back at it and I realize I praised God through it all. I didn't lose my cool, I didn't lose my faith, and I didn't lose my happiness. So I started to really talk to my wife. I said, baby, this ain't gonna be pretty. This ain't gonna be pretty. So number one, this is not gonna be pretty. The first time you have to ask somebody to help you go to the bathroom or change you because like the first time you have to realize all of that stuff, it's not fun, man. The nurses come aside. You need help going to the bathroom? No, thank you. My wife got it. My wife got it. My wife used to work in the medical field. She did this. She did this for somebody that she didn't know. So I was comfortable. She was comfortable, top to bottom. Whatever we had to do, we had to shower. We had to use the bathroom. Everything that we had to do. My wife was right there. So I feel like the strength of our relationship, we was prepared for that. But in the conversation, me sharing with her, it's not gonna be pretty.
Hmm.
The fact my right hand is my dominant hand. So I gotta learn how to eat with my left hand.
Uh-huh.
Picking up food, my mother wanted to wipe my mouth every time. Please, wipe, please stop. This is not gonna be pretty, man. I'm gonna eat it when I finish. We can clean up. you know, it was just those moments of forgetting about what's wrong with you,
Hmm.
start focusing on what's still right.
Hmm.
And there's two things I asked them to do. Number one, it's not gonna be pretty. Number two, we gotta laugh. We gotta laugh or I'm gonna cry, man. So please, please, please keep the jokes coming and be light. Don't worry. Let's be light. So we became the spirit of the whole floor, you know, because our spirits of it's gonna be all right, and then the room started to be decorated with pictures of my accomplishments. Nurses coming inside, they was like, I didn't know I had celebrity here, because I had pictures with former presidents. I have pictures with the mayor. I have pictures with pretty much everything, you know. And they, who's this guy? Then we get a chance to tell a story. It's something that make me cheery out too, you
Yeah.
know. 47, and I'm a kind of person that's like I always said I done so much since I was 15. I've been grinding, right? And I'm closer to my chill stage, my time where I'm not grinding so much.
Mm,
I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I
mm,
didn't grow up with money. I didn't grow up with fame, but I built myself up, and I'm showing my mom and my brothers, and everybody else how I did it, and what they can do. And but my faith switched around 25, man. And here I am in the hospital, and I'm trying to deal with this thing, and most days really strong. For some mornings, you wake up and you realize back to the reality that this is happening. And my mornings were my toughest moments. And keyword is what? Moments.
yeah.
Mornings were the toughest moments. Anybody watching and you going through this, or you're going through anything that's similar to turmoil, change, just remember if it could be cured, it's a moment. It's a moment. It's not forever. And and when my mom or my wife will see me cry, they come back and they want to wipe my tears, tell me don't cry. I say no, it's okay. I had to let it out in
Hmm.
order to make you laugh 2 hours from now. Give me my moment. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I understand what's going on, but it's not gonna not cry. It's real. It's real stuff. I don't want to make it seem like this is easy because I'm smiling and laughing all the time. No, 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 no. Walking around, no leg and no arm, things that you used to do, you can't do no more, hoping that it gets better and trusting therapy, and you never did nothing like that. That's not easy. I don't want my strength to be seen as, oh, he's doing great, he's fine. Don't do that. Nah, 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 nah. This is not going well. You know? So I spent 15 days in the hospital, okay? So 15 days in the hospital, and then it was time to move on. Well, actually, sorry, 5 days in the hospital, and then they transferred me to the floor where they have the physical therapy,
Hmm.
and that I spent about 14 days in physical therapy. So altogether, about 20 days, somewhat in the hospitals, learning the physical therapy, which was amazing. I mean, physical therapy really, really sets you on the right path. So yeah.
Did tell me about your upbringing a little bit. I want to understand
Okay.
why you are the way that you are. So you're extremely positive. You're
Yes.
always glass half full. You're
Yes.
dealing with some serious deficits. You're dealing with a
Yes.
life-threatening situation. Everybody around you is concerned, bothered, worried for their husband, for their son. You know,
Right.
it makes sense. And
Right.
your moments are smaller than your
Yeah.
uh, you have moments and they are short little moments,
Yes.
and
Yes.
your uptime is
Yes.
really a lot of it is the majority of the time, right? So
Yes. Yeah.
what 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 makes you have that kind of mindset, that growth
Yeah.
mindset, that
Yeah.
positive mindset? Because a lot of people that are going through what you're going through, especially only just 2 months
Yes.
since it happened,
Yes.
um, they're not seeing things this um this positively,
Yes.
even though they're going through
Yes.
something hard. So was your upbringing in Brooklyn, having no
Yeah.
money and all those types of things, part of the reason why you've got to this sort of stage in your
Yeah.
life where things are going to be okay, even if they're hard?
Understand the question. Understand. You know, I would. I would say there's two phases of time. There's two phases of time. The first phase is this young man who around age 13 was just was just growing into a stage of I can do anything. I really, again, pre-13, you were a dreamer. I was a dreamer. I watched TV. All the things that I didn't have, I wanted, I kind of just dreamed. What would it be like? A bigger room, a house, a bigger house, cars, as a dreamer. But when I got 13, I kind of started seeing certain um, skill sets that as I tested them out and other teachers and mentors kind of recognized it. It was a layering effect of youth leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you add on more, it's the compounding effect of what leadership and mentorship can do to you to grow and to grow and to grow. By the time I'm 13, by the time I'm 16, I'm running stuff. By the time I'm 18, I'm by myself. By the time I'm 21, I got a career. By the time I'm 24, I leave the company that I grew up with and resign and start my own. By the time I'm 24. And then 24 to 30, I'm big headed. I'm big headed. I think I'm the
There
man.
you go.
I did it. I did it. I'm young and I'm dumb. I'm young and I'm dumb. And again, it's a stage. It's a stage, right? 13, I don't know. I was just a young man just dreaming. 13, then I start noticing some good thing about me. Other people tell you, yo, you dope, yo, you good. You start building up, building up. You start getting paid. You start taking over. And then 24, you resign, leave everybody. I want my own. And you do it. Now you big head age. And you go 24 and you start running around. Look at me. I did it. And you reach the top. You reach the top. You're the top person in your industry. You're known across the country. You are killing. And then you do something so dumb that God, hello, takes it all away. You lose everything, man. Prestige, integrity, income, everything, status, everything. Because all that growing up you did, you thought it was you. You thought you was the man. You was fixing your car like you did all the work. And then because one thing that your mentors didn't do, one thing that your family didn't do, one thing that you didn't grow up around is a spiritual understanding that we belong here for a reason, and someone sent us here and gave us the reason. Once you recognize that, and sometimes to recognize it, you gotta take it away. So for me, this is my story. Everybody gonna relate to this story in some form or fashion, but everybody won't click and say, "I'm gonna go and meet me God, be closer with God." If it won't click for you right now, I'm sharing with you. I think it's gonna click one day. So for me, around age 30, it didn't click. But what happened was I lost the law. Age 30. I lost it all, man. In 31, 32, 33, and maybe beginning of 34. It took me 2 or 3 years to understand, oh, this is why you lost the law. And watch this, and this is how you're gonna get it back.
Oh, okay.
Turn it over. My name was Tyrone Brown. That is not my name right now. Don't call me Tyrone. Do not call. I will correct you and say, where you got that from? You know me from back then? He's dead. You call me Ty because I identify with Ty more than Tyrone. And there's things about Tyrone that I know is inside. And it's stuff that I suppressed, threw away, got rid of, and understood the power of knowing him. I knew him, and he was dangerous. And that's not the guy you want to be around.
Sounds like he
But
was also good though, Tyrone.
he was good. He was good. He was giving, caring. Again, he's the version of me that on the surface looks fine.
Hmm.
You want to follow, you want to be like him, you want to do it. But this is surface that it's type of fun that don't last.
Hmm.
It's the type of fun that don't last. Because it was a fun of getting it, however. It was
Uh-huh.
a fun, there you go, here you go. It's the fun without principles.
Uh-huh.
It's the fun without principle. Living your life without measuring and without guidance and correction and principles. It was him. It was the person that didn't know nothing but the world. All I knew was the world. I look at the world as get it as you get it now, get it no matter what. But you be kind to people. I learned that from home. Be kind, be polite. But truthfully, I also knew be to pretend to be polite. I also knew when I studied politics, I learned play the game. When
Mm.
I studied politics, I learned play the game. Now I look at politics as play the spiritual game, as play the game with your morals intact.
Hmm.
So getting out of the darkness, I returned back to churches and mentors that were spiritual based, you know, and I was really gaining an understanding and a closer relationship. I really turned over my apologies and say the rest of this chapters is yours. I now understand that the strength of what I bring to the table comes from you. And my language began to change, my posture they begin to change. And now and now losing it humbled me to the point where all I want to do is say, it's yours, man. What do you want? You ask the question, where do you want me to be? What do you want me to do? And how do you want me to handle it? But yo, bro, turning those questions over to him made life so easy. I
Yeah.
I had no choices. I don't have to worry. It's his problem.
Mm.
I don't have to struggle. It's his problem. All I have to do, wake up every day, one foot in front of the other, and do what he tells me to do. I don't, so why do, so now I have more time to laugh. I have more time to joke, be friendly to other people, help other people understand life principles, spirituality. I get a chance to do all of that now because I gave all worries to him.
Hmm.
And that's where I'm at today, That's where I'm at. That's why I could that's the upbringing. It's the stages in the phases. And since 34, I'm 47 now. I've been riding that wave. And I tell people, last statement, if you hear this and it doesn't resonate with you, you have question marks about the Bible, you have question marks about God. I have question marks. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not here to convince you that it's real. I'm here to convince you, watch this. It feels good, man. This story that we buy into, this story that we're told, this belief system, this realm of living, guess what? If it ain't true, it feels good. It
Mm.
works for me.
It's like a
It
guiding
works for
star, isn't
me.
it? It's like
Huh?
a north star. It's like
Yeah,
that's where you're heading, but life's going to be full of up and downs, and
yeah,
you're going to find yourself not sure about it, questioning your beliefs and what the Bible
yeah,
says and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
the North Star, the lessons, the way that you
yep,
can appreciate what's happening in life, helping other people, like they're all things that you can still do, even though you're not 100% sure and you have your days of doubt and you have difficult days and you don't believe some days, it's
yep.
still this North Star, this guiding light that you can go towards and see what happens along the way. I was
That's right.
curious, Ty, you said a bit earlier that you shifted your mentors to spiritual mentors. What kind of mentors were they before that, if they weren't spiritual?
Okay, so I had both. I knew who to go to for spiritual mentors who were in my life for different reasons, not for the spiritual reasons. They were also business guided or community guided or politics guided. And I never really went to them for the other purpose of spiritual. So I was able to go back to the ones that I trusted and then say to them, oh shoot, and my story wasn't a secret. You know, they already knew about me, so I was able to go. You heard? Yeah, I need help. I need help. And they you try to give me the same help that you gave me before. I said, no, no, I need to come to church. I need to
Uh-huh.
be I need to be in with you in the planning. I need to get involved. I need to understand how to walk with them, how to talk with them. And then they understood, they got the message. Okay, come in. Come with me this day, come here this day. And that's what I began to do. I did that for almost a year. Almost a year. The first meetings I went to, I didn't speak. I'm a talker. I love to talk. I didn't speak. And for the entire time, the first time, I'm just crying for hours. And I don't know why. Everything about I was sitting there, I'm okay. I'm just sitting there. In the first few weeks, I'm just draining, draining, playing back in my head my life that I lost. And dream and then praying and saying, if you give me a chance, I'll do it right this time.
Hmm.
you know. And then today, I'm 47. I'm back at the top of my the areas of business that I focus on. I'm back the number one guy that did it. I'm still doing it. I built the income is crazy big, and the staff is back, and I'm back, man. And I had to look back and say I needed to go through that to get this far, man. So it's really good. My journey is the journey of no regrets.
So you're
So
here,
that's
you've
yeah,
found the
I'm here.
top again, but you've found it with morals, with principles,
Yeah,
with spiritual
fully
guidance.
guided, fully guided in my moves and in my thoughts. Fully taking time to ask what's the next step. Asking, is this next step me and my ego, or is this the right next step that you want me to move in? And I feel really comfortable that I'm walking in the steps in the path already predetermined for me. So I feel good.
What kind of work do you do, Ty?
I own a couple of businesses, but they all synergy based. So they built out of number one. I run youth centers.
Youth centers.
Yeah. So this is not the kind of youth center where your city started it and then you got hired to work. Or it's not that thing. This is you started it. It's your brand, your name, your funding. This is private youth center. So I run one of the largest centers in Brooklyn, and we have close to 1,000 kids a year,
Wow.
and we have a pretty large staff, and it's mostly privately funded by me and a couple of things from here and there. But in addition from that, I also contract with NBA and NFL teams for sport entertainment, live entertainment at sporting events. Um, I also own a food truck. I own the printing store close by the neighborhood. And what I love about my story is my house where I grew up is here. And everything I just named is within a 5 block radius. Everything I name, I always want to serve my
Community.
area where
Your
I grew
community.
up.
I
So
love
I
that.
wanted, so I'm running this print shop and I'm printing T-shirts and paying somebody else. While we don't own the church company, I'm running this youth center and I'm making copies of the music for the marching band while we don't own the print shop. Why don't we own buses to go out for these trips? Why are we paying for somebody else? I want to own buses. And then why why can't I open up this restaurant where I can feed the community for free and run a business right here? So I want the restaurant too. And then when the restaurant is going really good for 5 years and the landlord want to raise the rent, nah, don't do that. Go get me a food truck, man. Go get me a food truck, no rent. Bye. No, go on. So every business, event space, every business is based out of a need for to better serve the community. And obviously it's good business sense in it helping the community, and I get to hire more people. So, all my businesses are based around that. And then in addition to that, I started forward march coaching. I coach business owners because people knew say you're not. I heard you did this. I heard you did that. But I heard it's one of the best companies. Well, it's an amazing restaurant. So not only do you have businesses, but you built them to be doing really good. Can you show me how?
Mhm.
So what after I get on Zoom for a minute, you coach people. We have that going on, and then of course the next step is write books. You start writing books and you start doing speeches, so that's my realm of work at the moment, and I love it. I love it. I don't really see it as work. It may seem like a lot, but I put together systems where all of it runs really smoothly. My team is happy.
I love it. You know what I love about it is people who I often get overwhelmed about what's going on in the world at the moment
Yes.
are,
Yes.
are also going through their own troubles locally at home, right? They've got a lot of problems. And when I say people, I mean, I'm also talking about myself, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then what happens is you get distracted by all the things that you can possibly be distracted by that are happening around the world because of the stuff you see on the phone or you see on the TV or you read in the newspaper. And it's overwhelming because you can't impact the world on the other side of the planet directly. You can't make a move today and then you've made a positive impact tomorrow in another country on the other side of the planet. Although those causes are important, sometimes what they do is they take us away from exactly what's required in our neighborhood.
Yes,
If
sir.
you know what's happening in another country on the other side of the world, but you don't know your neighbor, I think there's a problem there. You need to
Right.
know who your
Right.
neighbor is, or what their
Right.
challenges are, what their problems are, because you can solve that problem with a little bit of energy. Such a
Yep.
small amount of effort. If you know your neighbor's doing it hard because they've lost somebody or they've lost their job,
Yep.
all you have to do is cook some extra food in the food
Yep.
that you've cooked for your family today. Just walk it
Yes.
down there
That's it.
and you make a massive difference. That lifts the spirit of that person. If that person feels good about what you did, they're going to look out for you and your family. and the community becomes tighter. And
Yep.
when each each person is supporting each other in that community, you're making actually a massive difference to all the other communities that those people come across or impact. So it's
Yep.
really important to start locally. And I
Yep.
say that with people to people that were going through the COVID lockdowns and all the
Yep.
problems that they
Yep.
were faced with. You know, the whole planet has shut down, all these problems that we're having, and it's like, cool, we're going to stop watching your politician telling you how many people died and what all the problems are, and start focusing on the people next door to you who are doing it
That's it.
tough and need some
That's it.
support, even if that support is just to take them a little bit of food or listen
Yep.
to a story or
Yep.
run an errand for them or something like that. It's so much more important to know what's happening in your neighborhood than to know what's happening on the other side of the planet. Let the
Yep.
people on the other side of the planet solve their own problems if they
Figure it out.
can,
Yep. Figure
and
it out.
figure it out. Even if
Yep.
they can't solve them, it's not for us to get distracted about what's happening over there. It's for us to focus on what's happening in our own neighborhood. That's what I
That's
love
it.
about what you just said. That
Yes,
being
sir.
and not only your all your communities are within a 5 block radius of where you live. There's no commute 5 blocks away. You don't have to
Right.
commute for an hour, right?
Right.
All you
Yeah.
have to do
Yeah.
is you can walk to every one of those
Well,
places.
and do you know how good it feels if I leave my house on Lincoln and Utica and I walk to the school where I run my youth center? I'm gonna get stopped 20 times. I
Mm-hmm.
love it, man. I love to see old people that used to be and they know me. You pass by the same barber, you pass by the same. you- I feel safer and I feel loved. So from my life is unique. It's very divinely guided. The idea of community and the idea of staying close to where my area has worked for me. Everything you just said, I repeat that constantly because once you get notoriety and you get success, everybody wants to grab you. So, Ty, can you help me start this in Virginia? Ty, can you help me go in Queens? No, thank you. I'm sorry. I already decided that this brand and my name is Brooklyn. Everything that we do, we're going to focus on Brooklyn and we're going to focus on Central Brooklyn. So if I wanted to be greedy, I could take every contract. If I want every consultant job, but I think about my purpose. And that is, mama, wait, yeah, sorry, Tyrone would have did it. But
Mm-hmm.
Ty understood his purpose, and he wasn't motivated by another big contract. So Ty is looking at it from a different perspective of nah, I'm happy, I'm
Mm-hmm.
content, or I prayed on it, and that's not for me right now. So that's really, really where I am, and really where I'm going. Coming out of the hospital. I really felt prepared from the therapy. The therapists were dope. They were super good. This you didn't realize that you're not just exercising your arm. That's not what you're doing. You some of it is you're learning how to cope and how to live life with this new temporary inability to use the arm. We have to be careful about words.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not disabled,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not disabled. Now I can't in this Zoom. I can't lift my right arm and wave it at you. But because it's temporary, and because that arm still has life, it still has a heartbeat, we don't talk about it like it's not a person, or like it's dead.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be careful of our wording. Nobody don't call me disabled. Don't call me the truth is that it's hard. The weight of this leg and this arm on my to move it around without me being able to control it is hard. But I learned how to the first month, everything I did for the first month, somebody had to do it. Somebody had to do it with me.
Yeah.
From you name it, from bathroom, get up the steps, get down the steps, get out the bed, get in the bed, showering, bathing, you name it, somebody else had to do that in the first month. Month two, you sit. Sit. Can I please try that by myself? Month two is the month of can I try? Please, can you watch me? We want to be safe, but can you watch me? And that took some tears, but still, please just watch me. Don't help. I'm crying because I'm getting frustrated about this situation or whatever, but I'm trying. I can't tell my leg to move. But month two was independent month. What everything was I want to try. My wife, my sorry, you wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock. You can't get out the bed till the next person help you. So you laying in the bed, wanting to get up, and you don't want to be rude and wake her up.
Mhm.
So you sit there and you watch the sky or you turn on the TV. But you so used to waking up in the morning and getting going. So one morning I wake up, she's still asleep. Shh. I use the handle. I learn to sit up. I push my foot. I learn how to stand up. You start feeling strong. You start building up your confidence. And you
Mhm.
start doing things on your own quietly because your family gonna be there no matter what. And I got in the shower and I stood up in the shower and with one hand I washed myself. That was a big moment, man.
Huge.
Huge moment. And then I turned to Alexa. I told Alexa to cut the music on. And now she hears music and she come running in. What are you doing? I'm ready to dry you off, please. I'm ready. I'm ready to clean. I already washed, but I don't know how to dry you off. Here you go. I dry you off. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 days now. The 4 day I'm showering every day by myself. So now you get out the shower and you take that towel and you sit down and you learn how to dry you off. Okay, I'm ready to put my underwear off. Underwear on, I already dried off. Each day, just taking a new level of please let me do it. And now it's what? February, it's almost end of February. I go up and down the steps, nobody to help me. One leg, one arm. I go in, I'll meet you in the car. I can get to the car, I can get inside of it and close the door by myself. You know, it feels it helps me make it through the day that
Yeah.
I could get up and get things done. I went downstairs the other day and I cooked my breakfast. One hand. I'm like, how you gonna be careful with the stove? I cooked my breakfast. I made me an egg, cheese. I made my stuff and I cooked my breakfast and I ate it and I helped clean up. I, I'm a man. I like to help my family. My family go food shopping. I bring in the food inside. I wasn't able to do none of that stuff. I had to watch my son, my little son, bring in the groceries, put the groceries away. And now I'm like, nah, I'm strong enough. So I feel my core, my stomach and everything is getting stronger. I could stand up on my own from certain seats and pretty much we learn how to live life with this changes and my medication and my dieting. Truthfully, I never paid attention to my health anytime as much as I am right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
So what's gonna happen for me? I'm gonna beat diabetes. I'm gonna beat hypertension. I'm gonna drop a couple of pounds. I'm gonna either A, learn how to deal with this arm and this leg not working right, or B, God is gonna grant me an opportunity where He makes it work again. But either way, I'm smiling through the rainy days. Either way, either way, I'm celebrating life. Either way, some, somebody is gonna be able to make it because I told him how. Told him how, and I want them to know that change and growth happens in the mind before it happens in your place else. So you have to have the mindset. If you tell yourself you can, you won't. And if you already heard this before, and these are mantras that you heard before, this is a God telling you. I tell you the truth. I don't know. I don't know no other way. So it, when I wanted to join the podcast, I already knew it was funny. I sent out 5 requests. Bill answered. Bill one. Bill is the first guy that I've read. First guy I studied. The first website I found was Bill. The first explanation, the first podcast, the first go through everything page by page, it was Bill. But I sent out the request of 5 different podcasts. You're the one, you're the person that gets the message out. You're the person that it's like if you want to be on CNN, if you want to be on Fox News, if you want to get the story out and you want to get it out right in the area of stroke, recovery, infectious diseases, life learning, in those areas, Bill has shown that he's been through it, and now he has shown a level of commitment to getting these stories out. And I'm happy to God that not only did I have the opportunity to share the story, I'm here for more questions,
Yeah.
but I'm happy that it's with you because again, I think it's therapy for me.
Yeah.
It may be therapy for you. But
It
one
is.
thing we know for sure that the listeners need to be reminded or to hear. Either you
Yeah.
don't know and you hear it, but some of us that have grown the thoughts, we need to be reminded constantly. That's what the podcast was for me,
Mm.
a reminders
Hmm.
mostly, but now it's gonna continue to be that for somebody else, man.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
Yes.
Um, Thank you for comparing me to CNN and Fox. I tell you what though, no politics on my channel.
Right, 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 right.
There's no left, there's no right, there's none
Yeah,
of that
yeah,
junk.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
good news, just positivity, just
That's it.
encouragement. That's it. That's all we're doing on
That's
this
it.
channel.
That's it.
Thank you so much.
No man.
Also, I love I love the way that you're being real about
Yeah,
all the challenges that are ahead of you. There's plenty
yeah,
of them. I love that you said you're going to beat diabetes. If it's type 2 diabetes, it's
yeah,
completely reversible.
yeah,
And if you've never heard that before, just go onto Google and just type the question, is type 2 diabetes completely reversible? Because 100% is. And often type 2 diabetes in and hypertension are connected. They're part of the
Yeah.
same problem. So often when you deal with type 2 diabetes, hypertension improves
Yeah.
and you can have a massive positive impact as you're improving your diabetes situation and your hypertension situation. Your brain is also healing better. So is your heart. So is your arm. So is your leg. And all those things, they go together. And I love the fact that you're already at that stage where you're going to beat diabetes. And that is so simple because it's just deciding I'm not going to put that food in my mouth. That's it.
That's what. That's
Whether
it.
it's carbs, whether it's soda, whether it's alcohol, whatever it is, I'm not going to put it in my mouth anymore. That's all it
That's
is.
it.
It doesn't
That,
require any more effort than that, you know?
right.
It doesn't
That's
cost
it.
any extra.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and I just love that. I love that you're already 2 months in and you're at that stage and you're talking about those things. It's just, I feel really, pleased to hear that from a survivor so early on, because that means that the next 47 years are going to be far more wise, far more um, uh, uh, paying attention to the things that you're doing to see where am I going wrong, not just what is God telling me that is going wrong, but also I have to have some of my own awareness to know where I've gone wrong and
Yep.
then pay attention to that and then alter my course. It's like running a business or five of businesses. I mean, if you're running the businesses incorrectly, and as a result of that, your one of your businesses is not making money, you have to have it pay attention to that and go, that's not God, that's me. I've got to adjust my course here.
Yep.
Otherwise, the business will fail. People will be without work. The community will lose a service. And that's the same thing. You've got to see yourself in the same way. Without you, people will miss the things that you have to offer to your family, to your community, to your youth center. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yep.
necessary for you to be around for so many reasons to serve your creator, to serve your community, and to be a good example for your
Yep.
family and for your children, how to deal with adversity when adversity comes. You have to.
Yep.
It's the only way to
Yep.
do it.
Yep. That's why you're so great, Bill. You hit it on the head, man. You meet me, for the Zoom. We talk for about 20, 40 minutes, and then you basically throw my whole life back to me. What you said is exactly. You said what you said was, when it comes to business and the money's not coming in right, I make pivots and change. When it
Hmm.
comes to business, every day that something don't go right, I adjust. But when it came to my health, I ignored it for so long. What's wrong with you, man? That's not God. You pray for God for the businesses, everything else. But what is it about one simple thought? What you put in your body. And I understand it uh, so much more now,
Hmm.
that I had to say to myself, okay, the thought about me is that I had a survivor's guilt.
Mm.
The survivor's guilt that I had wasn't one to deal with the stroke, but being so young and so successful for my community is not something that everybody I grew up with on my block still lives on my block. The community doesn't have too many superhero stories of making it and moving out. And what everybody's guilt shows up differently. Mine showed up in, I don't want to live forever. I'm
Oh.
tired. So it wasn't a suicidal thought. It was more of just a realistic, like, this world is really ugly. Number one, this world is not really like come on, I'm tired. And then number two, at some point, you're like, I did all I can do. Let me know when I can go sleep. And talking about death in the positive way. Like listen, I'd rather die right now where everybody knows me and just go out with a bang than for me to die slowly at 80, 90. Quality of life. Nobody for the past 30 years, nobody said my name. I haven't accomplished much for the past. I know what. Okay, you got grandkids. Those are all reasons that I can't see right now. And overall, I feel like I've given so much that I don't mind. I
Hmm.
don't mind, but that shifts. That was a real thought for the from 40 on. And now when I have sad moments, it's a real thought now. Quality of life. If this arm don't fix, if this leg don't fix, I don't want to be here, man. I'm not trying to have somebody right on board forever. I'm not trying to have to wear a wheelchair. I'm not trying to do that. I'm good. I'm happy. Thank you. Bye. You know, that's a thought in some moments of, and I don't want to say of weakness. I don't want to say it's a moment of weakness. It's a moment of realism,
Hmm.
truthfully, right? But there's the majority of the moments, I'm like, all right, I'm like a little show off quick. Nah, man, I gotta beat this thing first. First thing I'm gonna do is beat you up. I'm gonna beat up diabetes first. I'm gonna beat up hypertension. I'm gonna drop 20, 30, 40 pounds. I'm gonna get my leg back, my arm back. So I want to show people video. I want to stand up and show a video. This was me 1 year ago.
And it's not about you, it's about them. It's actually
Yeah,
about them.
I want to be able to like I want to be able to be in a room of people that have doubts and not
Yes.
ready. And I want to say, I know what doubt feels like
Yeah.
because I probably could. You can't speak on something because you read books. You can only speak on something if you experience it. And now I'm in the excitement mode
Mm.
of 15 years, 20 years of traveling to tell the story. I found a new level of I'm gonna help change some lives in a different way. You know, people get strokes more in their older ages. So now I have a story. I used to have a story for youth. And now I could talk to youth and older people. Wow. I'm a new
Ah,
excitement. Wow, God,
what a
I
gift.
know where you want me to go next. I know what you want me to do next.
A
I
gift.
feel it. Wow, let me write this book. I'm writing the
Yeah.
book right now. I want to document everything. I want to document what I'm doing, what I'm feeling, my back. I'm going to document everything, God. I feel it. I feel like I could be 80, 90 now. 80 and 90, still talking about stroke symptom, health health issues. But I couldn't have a meaning to my age 50 to 90 without the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I always had the problem of hypertension or diabetes, but God, here you go again. You had to take it away for me to realize the next step in the next journey. I want the best. I'm excited. So
Yeah.
I want to beat this thing, man. And then after I beat it, I want to go out and give your message away. I want to go out and use it. And I want to do it for years to come. And I'm excited about that. So, again, like I said,
Good.
what works for you?
It's
How do
good. I
you make
love it.
how
What
do you
you've
make
done,
success?
what you've done is you're switching between your head, which before the stroke experience, your head goes, man, I have diabetes, I have hypertension, but it doesn't mean anything. I'm managing it. It hasn't stopped me from living my life. But
Yeah,
then you have the stroke, and now you know what hypertension and and diabetes
does.
becomes. It
Yes,
becomes stroke, and now that you know that, now it's like, oh, okay, I didn't take this thing seriously enough.
yes,
Here is the lesson. The lesson is
yes.
let's avoid getting to stroke. But if you've got to stroke and you're dealing with the stuff that you're dealing with, well, here is an example of what I'm going to do to try and overcome it.
Yes.
And what I love about it, what I love about what you said is all the other stuff that you're doing is the flip. It's out of your head and it's into
Yes.
your heart. And it's your
Yes.
heart that's leading the way now. It's your heart saying,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to overcome that. And it's not about me. It's about
Yeah.
having, I've got a new bridge to the over 50s, which I never
Yes.
had before, because
Yes.
before I knew what it was like to support people under 50 because of my
Yep.
upbringing, because of the
Yep.
things I was involved in.
Yep.
I've never been involved with over 50-year-olds,
Yep.
but I'm going to be one.
Yep.
And I'm going to have to know how to
Yep.
interact with these people.
Yep. So it's really like I need to live. I need a reason to live,
Mm,
and it is no coincidence to me that one life change happened at 30, one life change happened close to 50.
mm,
These things, I'm a type of person that's motivated by meaning, by purpose. When I had that other thought, I thought I was fading out and not having purpose or already accomplishing my purposes. And hey, it's like redefining yourself. It's like rebranding yourself. That's just like any other business. It's just how things grow. And again, for a person who's motivated or wants upward growth and wants my chapters to be meaningful, this makes sense to me, and it works
yeah,
for me. Now, and I think for anybody, um, learning to rationale tough, tough potential traumas is part of the key to making this sense. You digging into your toolbox to figure out what tool you need today to not go in the downward thinking mode of negativity. I think that's what it's about. Life is gonna give you tools in your toolbox. Whether or not you use them or not, it's your choices.
yeah. And
Yeah,
it's
man.
the reality is nobody's going to get through life without some injuries, without some traumas, without some
Yeah,
scars, without
yeah,
some damage. If you
yeah,
have, if you get through life and you get to 99 and you haven't got any of that stuff, you haven't really lived.
yeah, yeah,
And this is part of life. It could be hard, difficult, challenging, all that type of thing. But
yeah,
it's how it's meant to be. It's
yeah,
how it's meant to be. And we're lucky that we live in an era where you can have a stroke and go to a hospital and
yeah,
come home. Whereas 100 years ago, if you had a stroke,
yeah.
very
That's
rarely did
all.
you come
Yeah,
home. Your
yeah,
life was done at 37
yeah,
when I had mine, at
yeah,
47 when
yeah,
you had yours. It was over. So
yeah,
this is
yeah,
what's really cool about it, about like being around now, with all the difficulties in life and in the world, there's so many positives. And I think we need to shine a light on those positives. I can be the Fox News and the CNN, who shines a light
yeah,
on those
yeah, yeah,
positives instead
yeah,
of all the other stuff. We'll let the other guys do that.
yeah,
um, Bill Network doesn't do that stuff, just shines the light on the positive, the path forward, which is what you're doing. It's
right,
exactly
right,
why this podcast exists,
yeah,
is to give a platform to people to come on here and help other people, because I know that that's part of the healing journey. It's
yeah,
really important to include other people in your recovery and
right,
help them in their recovery and show them the way. I'm
yes,
I'm 13 years past my first episode, and it's like, okay, somebody's just starting theirs.
yes,
And if I
yes,
show them the path, even though it was
yes,
a hard one, at least there's one less thing they have to think about and worry about. They can just
yep,
continue on their journey, and it
yep.
just makes
I'm
it
telling you,
that much easier.
it's important that you understand. No, again, I'll repeat it if you don't already know. People go, people come out of their stroke, and either their family member or themselves, they start searching. So social media, YouTube, Everything is our university. We learn, and people want to feel a part. This is what's going on with me. The person in my hospital room, they never been through it, and I want to know what it's like. And they go searching, and they find you, and they find everybody that's been. And then your story, how you tell the story, how you interview, all those things matter. Everything about it, the way you segment the person's conversation so they could click on their segments and they could hear the story. And they could connect. They could relate. And speaking of relate, there's one more portion. Let me tell you. You're talking about the mind
Hmm.
as it relates to the type of mindset that you need to make it make sense. But another part of the mind that's really important that I want to share is the compassion for your family
Hmm.
who not necessarily going through the same physical changes, but the new emotional and physical that it's gonna take to properly help you care for you is something that always was very strong in my mind. I was scared because I don't want my wife quality of life to change. I don't want my mother to stop living because she want to take care of me. I don't want my wife stressed out because she's 24 hours making sure that the kids, herself, and me is taken care of, that she loses her opportunities to smile. And this empathy and compassion for your family is something that you can't lose. I find myself, initially when you get tested, they do certain tests around your conversation in your mind. And I realized I lost some memory. I realized that certain things wasn't as sharp. Day one, day two, I'll tell you now, 6 weeks later, I kill those tests. I kill those tests now. But in the beginning, I cried when I realized I couldn't remember 5 words. She gave me 5 words. She asked me a bunch of other stuff. She said, now tell me the 5 words. I'm like, oh shoot, I don't remember. So things about you may change. You may have your mind, you may feel like you have it. Well, watch this. It may not be 100%. It may not be the same tie that was. It might your husband, I'm sorry, your wife, your husband, your children, they're gonna recognize some things are different. Sometimes it might be just you being irritable because
Hmm.
you're not in a comfortable position. You may be more snappy. So I just want to say to you, I'm calming my voice on the reason. Okay, I'm saying that's normal and it's cool. Be conscious of it.
Hmm.
If you care, if you care, be careful. A lot of the times I have to shut my day down and just take a nap
Hmm.
because I realize I'm getting irritable. And if that's not the way you want to be, if that's not what you meant to give, and you do care about your wife, your kids, or whatever, take time to breathe, change, think before you react, because it's a lot on the family, the same way it's a lot on you. And I just think that we should be compassionate, empathy towards them. That's why I was such a month after month one. I was like, I could do this. I could try. I could do it myself because that gave me more time to feel accomplished about um bathing on my own, using the bathroom on my own, getting up and down the steps. That gave me more confidence. That also gave my family more time. That gave them more time for themselves. So
Hmm.
there's two-way street. You win in two ways. You win in your personal confidence. You win in giving your family some of their time back, but also keeping calm in your reaction, your communication with your family, and being conscious of your own emotions and irritability is important for all of y'all to succeed to the next step. This is happening to you, yes. Ooh, this is happening. But the fact that it could be reversed is a lot of about your next step. I think if I lay in bed and cried, I wouldn't be able to lift the arm. I can lift it.
Hmm.
I can lift it. My God saying I'm getting more and more shoulder strength. And I remember the day that I called my wife over and I told her, hold my hand, right? I said, pull out the camera. I said, I'm gonna try, okay? We recorded this. I said, I think I could squeeze your hand. She said, what? She said, squeeze it. I squeeze her hand. Now, guess what? I can't open it back. I can't open it back. But the first time I realized that you tell your hand something, it just look at you. It don't do nothing. And one day I said, squeeze. And it closed. I was so happy. And then I get my wife and I share that moment with her. I said, come here, watch this. I cut the close. The good thing is I never had backsliding. When my foot wouldn't raise at all, when I could finally pick my knee up a little bit, I've always been able to lift it higher and not lower. And then my arm strength, I can pick up weights now. I'm doing weights. I'm getting the weight. Once you put something in your hand, it's a claw. So I put weights in my hand, and I'm able to pull down and pull up. And every time I go, a physical therapist, they work me hard, man. They say, hey, progress. They measure it, how far can I reach? I'm pulling down. I'm doing stuff that they said I couldn't do. And
Hmm.
I'm telling you, that stuff is God. It's God, definitely, definitely. But it's the mind.
It's you too.
The mind is what took it away. It's the part that's not connected. It's the part that's gonna bring it back to, man. So I pray that anyone who heard this podcast, first, we are grateful that we are not alone. We're grateful that we are in the story that other people have been into. Bill has been there. Bill went through it. He told his story a couple of times, and now he has dozens of people who told this story so that we won't be alone into our understanding of what it is. What you're going to find out is there is a common denominator between the people who told the story and who got out. There's a common denominator. And
Hmm.
the important part about finding the common denominator is then because then you can find you in that denominator. All right. So we pray for Bill. I got a feeling that me and Bill gonna talk outside of this.
Hmm.
I didn't know him prior to the meeting. We didn't have a pre conversation. He said, "Your book." I showed up. He pressed record. We start.
Hmm.
But his smile, his reaction, his feedback, he's just like a magnet, man. And I hope that this is a blessing for you. I hope that this lets the family know that things gonna be all right. And like I remember this, when I talked about it being all right, I didn't only mention recovery. I didn't say that. I said I'm prepared. I'm prepared for recovery. Jesus, please. I'm prepared for recovery. But I'm also prepared if it's not tomorrow, if it's not next month. I understand that the strength of my life is not in my arm or my leg, but in my heart and my mind. And if you can find that right now, the rest is gonna come. Whatever answers is gonna come. I don't want to give you a podcast of promises. I don't want to get that. I don't want to get that. I don't want to have that for myself.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. If you want you email Bill and find out how I did 5 months from now, I hope I tell you something different. But what I am gonna tell you is that I'm doing good. Whether or not it's done 100% back, I know for sure I'm gonna accomplish more and more and more. And I feel purposeful, man. And let's find your purpose. Let's find your purpose in this. Let's find the reason why this is happening to you and do the steps that it takes for you to design your own story. Do the steps that it's going to take for you to design your own story. And me and Bill are going to be here to listen to it.
Indeed. Ty, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast, man. I had such a great time chatting with you. I really appreciate you sharing your story. I love the work that you do. And we are definitely going to catch up again after this
Amen.
episode.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it so much, man.
Well, that's a wrap on today's episode. A massive thank you to Tyrone for sharing his powerful journey of stroke recovery, resilience, and purpose. His story is a reminder that even in the toughest moments, mindset and support can make all the difference. Before you go, here are a few things you can do to stay connected. If you want to learn more about Tyrone, check out the links in the show notes to learn more about his work and the impact he has on his community. If you're new here, subscribe on YouTube. We're building an incredible stroke recovery community, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Share the episode with someone who needs encouragement on their recovery journey. And finally, if you're loving the podcast, leave a review. This really helps us reach more stroke survivors who need this type of content. That's all for now. I'll catch you in the next episode.
Importantly, we present many podcasts designed to give you an insight and understanding into the experiences of other individuals. Opinions and treatment protocols discussed during any podcast are the individual's own experience, and we do not necessarily share the same opinion, nor do we recommend any treatment protocol discussed. All content on this website and any linked blog, podcast, or video material controlled this website or content is created and produced for informational purposes only and is largely based on the personal experience of Bill Gassiamis. The content is intended to complement your medical treatment and support healing. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice and should not be relied on as health advice. The information is general and may not be suitable for your personal injuries, circumstances, or health objectives. Do not use our content as a standalone resource to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease for therapeutic purposes or as a substitute for the advice of a health professional. Never delay seeking advice or disregard the advice of a medical professional, your doctor, or your rehabilitation program based on our content. If you have any questions or concerns about your health or medical condition, please seek guidance from a doctor or other medical professional. If you are experiencing a health emergency or think you might be, call 000 if in Australia, or your local emergency number immediately for emergency assistance, or go to the nearest hospital emergency department. Medical information changes constantly. While we aim to provide current, quality information in our content, we do not provide any guarantees and assume no legal liability or responsibility for the accuracy, currency, or completeness of the content. If you choose to rely on any information within our content, you do so solely at your own risk. We are careful with links we provide. However, third-party links from our website are followed at your own risk, and we are not responsible for any information you find there.